So make your body comfortable. Bring your arms out to your sides, palms up towards the ceiling. Walk your heels about mat width apart. And close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Letting go of all thoughts, plans, ideas. And naturally, as thoughts and other things arise in our mind throughout our practice, just acknowledge them and then let them float away. Bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the physical body, and just let it relax. Sometimes you hear about the three-part breath in yoga. So the three-part breath is really breathing into three specific areas. We want a deep breath that fills the chest, abdomen, and back with air. So sometimes it helps to bring one hand to the chest, one hand lightly to the abdomen, and just really feel the body expand under your palms as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let it go from the abdomen, the back, and the chest. So in our day-to-day life, as we get stressed, many of us become chest breathers. So we're not breathing fully, we're not engaging the diaphragm and letting it work its magic on the body, opening it up fully and really using our lungs to their full potential. So we really want, when we're focusing on our breath, to breathe deeply in, all the way down deep into the abdomen. And the more we practice this three-part breath, the more natural it becomes. The more we'll be doing it throughout the day, not just while we're on the mat. So as you continue breathing deeply, bring the heels together, reach the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, and reach away through the palms. Become as long as possible, pointing the toes, lengthening the spine. You'll notice the way the ribs have expanded, creating a little bit more space for those nice deep breaths. And then reach your hands over towards the right corner of your room, keeping the arms back and down towards the floor, finding a little bit more space through the left side of the torso. And slide your hands back towards the center and reach them over towards the left corner of your room, finding length on the right side. Good. Come back through center. Release the hands, bend the right knee. Let's hug it in towards the chest. So just draw that knee in gently and notice how you're feeling tonight. Maybe that hip's a little tight. Maybe it's sore. Maybe the glute's sore. So maybe just rock it forward and back before we go any further. Again, moving gently, noticing how the body feels. And we're going to start warming up the feet, wiggling the toes, pointing and flexing the foot and ankle. And you can continue to rock the hip back and forth while you work on the foot. And then circle the toes around, go both directions. You might hear a little bit of cracking and popping, that's okay. And then move up the leg to the hip. So now we'll also rock the leg left and right, keeping the left leg and our shoulders planted as much as possible on the ground. Begin to slowly circle the right knee around. Either direction to start is fine. Gradually make those circles bigger. And then go the opposite direction. If you find your body really rocking side to side, pull the abs in a little bit to help steady yourself. And then pull the knee in towards the chest. Bring the hands to the back of the thigh and gently lift the right foot up towards the sky. So now we're stretching the muscles along the back of the right leg, and we want to keep our upper body as relaxed as possible. So if you find yourself tensing through the jaw, the face, the neck, the shoulders, slide the hands down a little bit and let that leg drop. Okay, we want to feel a stretch through the back of the right leg, but of course, if we're causing tense, or I should say, causing stress or the body to become tense anywhere else, it's not worth it. We want to keep a nice, relaxed torso, face, and left leg. Let's take one more breath here. And continuing to hold the right leg in the right hand. On your next exhale, let's open the right leg down to the right side. If you've got furniture or something in the way, you can always bend the knee. That's fine. You'll still get a stretch through the inner thigh, the right leg. Left arm is now planted on the left side of the mat, maybe extended out at shoulder height if you have the space for it. And look away from the right leg. Inhale, lift the right leg up, switch your grip, and exhale, cross the right leg over to the left side. Again, adjust the leg if you need to, due to space. Now the right hip is going to roll up and off of the mat here. That's fine. We're getting a gentle spinal twist. Just notice if it's too much. Lift the knee back up a little bit. We're still very early on in our practice, so we're not as warm as we would be if we did this at the end. Good. Let's bring the knee back through center and lower it all the way down to the floor. Continue breathing deeply as we bend the left leg, hug it in towards the chest. Again, you may want to rock the knee forward and back a little bit, depending how you're feeling tonight. But let's start down at the toes, wiggle them around, point and flex the foot, circle the toes. Begin to work your awareness up the leg to the hip, starting off small, rocking it side to side. Circling it gently. And go the other direction. And then pull the knee back in towards the chest. Bring your hands to the back of the thigh. Lift the left foot up. And breathe. So gently pull the leg in towards your torso, keeping the upper body relaxed, the shoulders down and grounded on the mat. And you don't have to point the foot. You can keep the foot relaxed. Change it up or give one or the other a try. Really focusing on the back of the left thigh and lower back. Let's take one more breath. As you exhale, open the left leg down to the left side. Reach the right arm out at shoulder height. Turn your head and look past your right hand or arm, or maybe just past the shoulder, depending on where the arm is and the furniture in your room. And now inhale, the left leg back up to center. Switch hands, so bring the right hand behind the left thigh. And exhale, cross it over to the right. Let the hip come off the floor. Turn your head and look over the left shoulder, breathing deeply. Let's inhale the leg back up and exhale it all the way down. Good. So let's bend both legs now, hug them in towards your chest, and gently rock side to side, massaging the back, the kidneys, the shoulders. And now tuck your chin towards your chest. We really want to round our spine as much as possible, and we'll roll along the length of the back of the body. So just maybe 3 or 4 times, and then we're coming up to a seated position, crossing the ankles, letting the knees drop down towards the outside edges of our mat, sitting up nice and tall, stacking our shoulders back and away from our ears. Shoulders are over the hips. Hands are resting on the knees. We're just going to gently lower our chin down towards our chest. And then bring one ear towards your shoulder. Chin back down to the chest, opposite side. Chin to chest, ear towards the shoulder. So if you have your left ear above your left shoulder, you're going to pick up your right arm. Okay, so opposite arm, the side away from your head. We're going to flex that hand and press away through the palm. So move slowly, and as you reach the hand away, you're going to feel a stretch down the length of your arm and your neck. Good. Let's bring that hand back to your lap, chin to your chest, opposite ear, opposite shoulder, opposite arm. Lift it up, flex the hand, press away. Reach, 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 reach. Excellent. Let's release. Hand to the lap, chin to the chest, lift the head up. Looking forward, roll the shoulders back several times. And forward. Excellent. Let's swing our legs around. Come onto our hands and knees, centering the hands under the shoulders, walking the knees so they're under the hips. Do a couple cat and cows so we warm up the torso, both the muscles along the spine and the abdominals. Exhale, arch the back, draw your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, round the spine, look upwards. So move at your own pace. Exhale, arching, inhaling, rounding the back. Good, let's do one more. And then come to neutral spine. We're going to add the arm and leg for more strength building through the back of the body and the abdominals. So remember, it's opposite arm and leg. If at any point you're feeling wobbly, lower the hand, or you can always take the variation where you slide the foot on the mat rather than lifting it up. Your choice. So let's start with our right arm and left leg. Inhale, lift, reaching through the fingertip and foot. Exhale, arch the back, draw the knee and elbow together, tuck the chin. So inhale, lengthen, use the back muscles of the body to stabilize. Exhale, use the abs to draw the knee and elbow together. Moving at your own pace, breathing, using that breath to move the body. On your next inhale, let's hold the arm and leg out, nice and long, reaching even further, lifting a little bit higher, drawing the abs in a little bit deeper. Excellent. Hand and knee back down to the mat. We'll switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Tuck the chin. So find a movement that matches the breath. We shouldn't be speeding through one direction or the other. You guys look really good. Keep it up. On your next inhale, let's hold the arm and leg out. However, continue to breathe. Lifting up, lengthening, really stabilizing your body. Press through the hand and knee on the mat. And let's lower them down. Good job. Sit back on your heels. Take a couple nice deep breaths in child's pose. Your choice about the placement of the arms. Either bring the forehead down to the mat, or you can always stack one fist on top of the other and rest your forehead on top. Breathe deeply. Feel the chest and rib cage expand to the sides. Focus on breathing into the back. All right, let's lift our head up, walk our hands forward, come into downward facing dog. So spread the fingers wide, curl your toes, lift your knees off the mat, tailbone up towards the ceiling. Root down through your heels, rotate the elbows so the creases of the elbows are pointing forward towards the top of your mat. And we should be looking back towards the feet. Let go of any tension in the neck by gently looking side to side. We're nodding the head up and down. And now let's walk our toes forward on the mat, come into come into forward fold, tucking the chin, looking towards our knees. Upper body is nice and loose, hanging forward over the thighs. And then press into the soles of the feet, round up, stacking the back all the way. Roll the shoulders back away from your ears and lift the chin off the chest. So we're going to continue our warm-up with 2 rounds of sun salutations. Come to the top of your mat if you're not there already. Feet under the hips, toes pointing forward. Let's inhale and exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips all the way down to the mat. Bend your knees a little bit if you need to. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the right toes and exhale, left leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press the palms, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes. Exhale, right leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press to the palms, lift the chest. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, left leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead. Inhale, slide forward, press through the palms, lift the chest, look up. And exhale, curl the toes, hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, Knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press the palms, lift the chest. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Arms by the side, shoulders back and away from the ears. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Good. So for our balance work tonight, we're going to do tree pose, a nice traditional yoga balance posture, but I'm going to let you decide if you want to take this a little bit further. So usually with tree pose, when we stand on our one leg, we're lifting the foot. And remember, we never put any sideways pressure on the joints of the standing leg. So the lifted foot should either be on the toes, the calf, or the inner thigh. But tonight, if you want to take it a little bit further, a little bit more challenging, we would place that foot rather than just on the inner thigh, we're placing the heel on the hip flexor of the standing leg. So we're getting a half, a half easy pose, all right, or a half lotus with the lifted leg. And it's okay if you hold that leg there with your hand, but I want you to think about opening from the hip. So if you take this variation, you shouldn't feel any pain in the knee, okay? We're opening from the hip. We're not asking the knee to turn sideways. If you feel any pressure there, let's come back to the inner thigh, okay? Or the calf. So let's give it a try at our own pace. Find a point to focus on, something that's a little bit higher than eye level. You can start with your hands on your hips. Let's root down through the right foot, spread the toes nice and wide, soften the right knee so it's not locked. We're not sitting bone on bone, but instead we're engaging the muscles to support the leg. Draw your abs in and keep your shoulders back, all right? When you're ready, root down through that right foot, lift the left foot off of the mat. Your choice. Place it on top of the right foot, skip over the ankle, place it along the inner calf. Skip over the knee, place it on the inner thigh. Like me, you can use your hand to bring it there, that's fine. Or again, if you're up for that challenge, we're gonna bring the heel to the front of the upper thigh or the hip flexor, letting the knee open and point back down towards the mat. So any of those placements are fine. Of course, if you're wobbly and have to lower that foot, lift it back up, place it wherever you like when you're ready. The most important thing here is that we keep breathing, all right? So we have a tendency when we're working on our balance to hold our breath, but really if we breathe deeply, our bodies will be more relaxed, we'll be more steady. So focus on the inhales and the deep exhales rather than the balance. Your hands can remain on your hips, you can bring them to your heart, or you can lift them up, whatever you prefer. All right, let's take one more full breath. And then when you finish that exhale, bring your arms back to your hips and lower the left leg all the way down. Good, shake it out. All right, so we're gonna start fresh on the second side. One side can usually be totally different than the previous one, so don't worry about what happened or didn't happen on the other side. Root down through the left leg, spread those toes wide, knee is soft, shoulders are back, eyes are up and focused, and you can try a different variation when you lift the right leg, or you can try what worked for you on the previous side. So again, skip over the joints, no sideways pressure. Feel free to try this variation. However, if you find it distracting, go back to one of the more classic positions, All right, feel free to adjust the hands. And nice, deep, even breaths. All right, one more deep breath. When you finish the exhale, then you can let the body relax. Hands back to the hips, foot back to the mat. Excellent. All right, shake it out. Then we're going to walk our feet about mat width apart. So you guys are all still facing the top of your mat. So start with your heels about mat width apart. Toes, toes turned out about 45 degrees, not your fingers. But again, this is kind of a general idea of where we want our feet placed. If you've got greater flexibility through the hips and inner thighs, you may be able to walk your feet wider. If you find that you're a little bit tighter in that area tonight, of course, the heels can come a little bit closer. But we're not going to know that right away, not until we get into these squats. So let's bring our hands to prayer position. And as we inhale, we're going to lower down into this plie or wide leg squat. Glance down at your knees. The kneecap should be pointing towards the second or third toe on your foot. You should be able to see your big toes from this position without really leaning forward. And if the knees aren't pointing that direction, we need to open up through the inner thighs, okay? Or if we're still not quite getting there, walk the toes a little bit further towards the midline, okay? So everybody's body geometry is a little bit different. Just make the changes you need to. So we're going to exhale, come up, and inhale, sink back down into that squat. So we're moving with our breath. Exhale, press through the feet, lengthen the legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Every once in a while, glance down, make sure your alignment is correct. If your heels are popping off the mat, walk the feet a little bit wider. Inhale down, exhale up. So use all edges of your foot to press deeply and lift the body. We really want to strengthen the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, and we're stretching the inner thighs throughout this moving posture. All right, on your next inhale into your squat, hold that squat low, keep breathing deeply, and we're going to lift our right heel off of the mat and lower it down. Switching sides, left heel up and down. So just because we're moving the heel, nothing is moving on the upper body, okay? Nice and steady. You can bring your hands to heart center or to the hips, whatever works for you. But let's lift right and lower, left heel up and lower. Now let's try both heels together. Inhale them up, keep breathing. Try and keep the body steady. Let's all take a nice deep breath together. Exhale, heels down, straighten the legs, come all the way up. Excellent job. All right, straighten out the legs, wiggle them around, shake them out, let them relax. Good. So let's come to the back of our mat. And we're going to start by stepping our right foot forward. So we're moving into pyramid pose. Our feet are in line with our hips, meaning think railroad tracks, not tightrope. Feet are parallel. Hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back, inhale. Exhale as we gently lower the chest. So try and keep a straight line from your back of your head to your tailbone. We're going to begin to feel that right hamstring stretch. That's where we want to feel it. Maybe we're feeling it into the glute or even the lower back, depending where we need that stretch tonight. That's okay. But hold it there. Drop your gaze downwards. We want to flatten out the neck. So don't look forward towards me. You know what we're doing here. Pull the chin in towards the chest. Look downwards. As we breathe deeply, maybe you can sink your chest down a little bit more. Relax into the posture a little bit. Let's take one more breath. And then we'll drop our hands down the length of the right leg, rounding the chest forward, bringing it towards the thigh. If you're more comfortable placing your fingertips on the mat, go right ahead. Let's gently roll up out of this. So either slide the hands up the leg, but press deeply into the soles of the feet to maintain your balance as you lift the chest, rolling the shoulders back over the hips. Bring your hands back to your waist. Take a deep breath. Switching sides, left foot forward, right foot back. Notice the difference in the feeling of the right hamstring versus the left, all right? Hands on the hips, inhale, chest up and open. Exhale, hinge forward. Again, just starting off slowly, keeping the back flat, feeling that length begin to intensify as we lower the torso down. And just stop when you feel that stretch. We're looking to gradually build in intensity, so we don't want to go from 0 to 100 right off the bat. As you breathe, maybe your chest can lower down an inch. And now let's slide our hands down the length of the leg or drop them to the mat, rounding forward, bringing our chest towards the knee, looking at your left leg, letting your head and neck relax. Don't forget to breathe here. Excellent. Let's gently roll up. So press into the soles of the feet and come all the way up, stacking the back. Shoulders over the hips, and then lift the chin off the chest. Excellent. Let's step our left foot back, shake out the legs. And we're going to move down and into our crouch or balance on the balls of our feet. So we've done this several times. You guys know how to get into it. You can move in at your own choice or own pace. So either you can move through your chair pose and lift your heels and come all the way down. That really challenges our balance. Or you're welcome to fold forward, bring the hands to the mat and use the mat for support before lifting the heels and lowering the hips to meet them. But ideally, we're inching our fingertips off of the mat, either bringing them to our lap, to our heart, maybe extended out in front of us or to the sides. Finding a point to focus on and holding our body steady, building strength through the feet and ankles. Some nights we're just a little bit more wobbly than others, so if you need to lower a hand or both to the mat, go ahead. Come back up when you're ready. If this posture is starting to feel too natural, too easy, you can always work on changing your angle, meaning the angle of your torso to the tops of your thighs. So as you lower your knees down to the mat, your body's naturally going to have to adjust itself to maintain balance. So you feel that shift, you'll feel your toes really grabbing into the mat, or you can move it the opposite way and bring your knees up towards your chest. That's going to naturally push your hips back. And again, that's going to change your center of gravity just a little bit. So I'm not asking you to move back and forth, forward and back. Just pick one and just shift it a little bit from your kind of resting point here. Excellent. All right, let's bring our fingertips down to the mat if they're not there already. Lower the knees and keep the toes tucked, sitting back on the heels. Now we should stretch the soles of the feet out. This should feel good after the last posture. Breathe deeply. If it's too intense, lean forward, lift the hips up. You want to feel a stretch, but it shouldn't be painful. Excellent. All right, hands back down to the mat one more time. Flatten the tops of the feet now. Sit your hips back. Now we're stretching the fronts of the feet and ankles. It should feel good. Roll the shoulders back a couple times. So our lower body is in what we call hero pose. So we're gonna take advantage of that and do a little arm stretching. So if at any point this becomes too much pressure on the feet and ankles, just swing your legs around. So let's take a couple nice deep breaths. We're going to inhale our right arm up, bend the elbow, and use the left hand to pull the right elbow in towards the center of the body. So we're stretching the tricep. Naturally, our chin is going to come down towards our chest. That's okay. And let's release. Maybe you want to roll the shoulders out once or twice. And then we'll switch sides, left arm up, bending the left elbow, using the right hand to pull the left elbow towards the center. Our fingers are relaxed. And let's release. Roll it out again. Now you're welcome to do that one more time each side, or follow me and we'll work to clasp our hands together. So right arm up, bend the elbow, left hand to the lower back. We're going to slide that left hand up the spine. We're reaching our left fingers for the right hand, ideally grabbing hold of it. Maybe it's just two fingers tonight. Maybe we're just touching. That's okay. Maybe we're not quite there, and that's okay too. You can always grab the back of your shirt, or you can bring that left hand back up to the prep pose we were just doing and pull that right elbow back to the center. Let's take one more full breath here. And then exhale, release the hands, swing out the arms. And we'll switch sides. Left arm up, bend the elbow, bring the right hand to the lower back, slide it up the spine. One side is usually a little bit more tight than the other. Reach those hands together. If not, grab the back of your shirt or bring the right hand back up to the left elbow. Excellent. Let's release. Shake it out. And then fold your upper body forward into downward, I'm tongue-tied tonight, into child's pose, not downward dog, not quite yet. So give your body a couple breaths to relax. Now we'll lift into downward dog. So lift the hips up, walk the hands forward slightly, spread the fingers wide, curl the toes under, lift the knees off of the mat, tailbone up towards the ceiling, and pedal your heels. So shifting the weight from one leg to the other, reaching down through one heel at a time. Head and neck should be nice and relaxed. On your next inhale, take a big step forward with your right foot, coming into our low lunge. So you may need to use your hand to bring that right foot forward. That's totally fine. But ideally, we have the right knee stacked above the right ankle. Our hips are down and forward, and we're pressing back through the left heel. So we're strengthening and building muscle in the right quad. We're lengthening the left hip flexor and left quad. Breathe deeply. All right, so we're going to take this low lunge into a high lunge. You're welcome to lower the back knee or rotate the back heel down to the mat for a little bit more support. We're all turning on the right quad, pressing as deeply as we can into the right foot to maintain balance as we inch the hands off of the mat and roll our shoulders back, stacking them over the hips. So we're just going to keep our arms extended tonight, either in front of the shoulders or maybe resting on your thigh. I want you to think about opening the chest, rolling the shoulders back, and taking a nice deep breath. Excellent. Let's fold forward, hands down to the mat. So from here, let's rotate our back heel down to the mat. You might already have your heel in this position. This is one of the options for our high lunge. If not, we're rotating the arch and the heel of the left foot down to the floor. So I'd like you to press deeply into the feet again. We're going to approach warrior two, kind of out of order. Usually we start with warrior two, but press into the feet. Let's lift our arms all the way up. Bring the left arm to the left side of the body. So we have our arms over our legs. Our right knee is still bent 90 degrees. And we're going to turn our head, look past our right fingers. Breathe deeply here. Flip the right palm up towards the sky, reach the right fingertips up, let the left hand just relax back down towards the left leg. So you might feel some heat building. We're building strength through the right thigh, stretching the inner thighs of both legs. Let's take one more breath. And then exhale, fold to the right, bring both hands back down to the mat, framing the right foot, lift the back heel, lower the back knee down to the mat. Excellent job. Let's walk our hands back, straighten out the right leg, and lift the right toes, gently folding forward over the thigh, feeling that stretch down the right hamstring, flexing the foot, feeling it into the calf as well. It's so important to breathe deeply in all these postures. The more we breathe, the more relaxed the body becomes, the deeper we'll sink into each posture we're practicing. So we get more out of the poses if we're really breathing deeply. Good, let's walk our hands forward, lowering the right toes, and let's step back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, and we'll switch sides. Inhale, left foot forward, coming into our low lunge, breathing deeply, making sure the left knee is stacked over the ankle, the back leg is straight, we're pressing away through the right heel. Lifting into high lunge, you can lower the back knee or rotate the heel to the mat. We'll be coming here anyway, so you might want to give that a try. Press deeply into the left foot. Let's inch our hands off the mat and reach them up, shoulder height, or let them rest on the left thigh. Keep the hips down and forward so we get maximum strength building and stretching. Excellent. Hands back down to the mat. Here's where we'll rotate the back right leg, heel to the mat if it's not already there. Now let's move as we breathe. Inhale. Exhale, press into the left foot, lift the arms up, bring the shoulders over the hips. Arms are now directly over our legs. Turn the head and look just past the left fingers for warrior two. Excellent. You guys look great. Keep breathing. Flip the left palm and then reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let the right hand drop down towards the right leg. So find length through the left side of the torso, the right inner thigh, building strength and heat in that left quad. Excellent. Let's exhale. Come back through center and then bring both hands down to the mat. Rotate onto the ball of the right foot. Lower the right knee down to the floor. Hamstring stretch. Walk the hands back, shifting the hips back towards the right heel, lifting the left toes and folding forward over the thigh. Excellent. Let's walk the hands forward, lowering the left toes, and step back again to downward dog. Excellent. From here, let's lift our right heel up towards the ceiling, bending the knee and pulling the right knee in towards the chest, lowering the knee between our hands for pigeon pose. So remember, we're creating an A shape or an upside down V shape with the right leg. We're relaxing our left leg back, and we're going to take an inhale, lifting our chest, opening it up deeply. Exhaling, folding forward over the right leg, gently walking our arms out. Maybe lowering our forehead down to our hands or our stacked fists. The more relaxed we can make the body, the more deeply we'll get into that stretch. So a couple things just to bring your awareness to. Remember, we don't want our right hip falling over to the right side, but instead we want our hips equal distance from the mat. Let's lift our head, neck, and chest up. Walk our hands back to either side of the right knee. Curl the left toes, press into the palms, and step back to downward dog. And we'll switch sides. Inhale, left heel up. Bend the knee, pull the knee in towards the chest. Lower the knee between the hands. Relax the right leg back. Roll the shoulders back away from your ears as you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward over the left leg. Good. Let's lift the head, neck, and chest up. Walk our hands back. Sit down into the left hip so we can swing the right leg around. Plant the right foot on the outside of the left knee or thigh for spinal twist. And then sit down into the right hip. So our hips are grounded. Right knee is lifted and across the front of the body. Now, bring the right hand behind the back. So we're rotating the abdomen towards the inner thigh. Lift the left arm up. And exhale, lower it on the outside of the right knee. Open the chest a little bit more to the right, and then look over the right shoulder. It's a little bit harder to breathe deeply here, so I want you to think about breathing into the back, breathing into the sides of the rib cage. Good, let's release, come forward. And we're going to switch sides. So we're going to take the right leg and we're going to lower that down to the mat now, bent. The knee should be about in line with the center of the chest. Left foot steps across the top. Foot is now on the outside of the right thigh. Bring the left hand to the lower back. Open the chest to the left side. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, lower it to the outside of the left thigh. Looking over the left shoulder. And continuing to breathe deeply. Good, let's release, bring the chest forward. Keep the knees bent, we're just gonna slide them apart, bring the soles of the feet together for bound angle pose. So sit up nice and tall, shoulders over hips, let the knees drop down towards the outside edges of your mat. Let's inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lean forward. So remember, we're not rounding the spine, but instead keeping it nice and tall and just lowering the center of your chest slightly towards your feet or towards your ankles, using your elbows to press gently into the thighs. And then lift the chest up, draw the knees together, pull the abs in towards the spine. Let's lean back, getting ready for boat pose. So our hands are facing the legs. When you're ready, lift the toes off of the mat. If you're a little wobbly tonight or not up for boat pose, you can always lower your toes down. It's a little less intensity. If you want more challenge, straighten out the legs. Take one more breath. And then lower the feet down, keep the abs engaged, and roll all the way down on the mat. And from here, if you're up for shoulder stand, lift up whenever you're ready. Of course, you can lift down whenever you're ready as well. If you'd prefer, you can always do legs up the wall. If you've got even just about a foot of wall space handy in your room, you can do legs up the wall pose, or you can just remain on your back for a couple breaths. We'll meet up with you shortly. Notice your breath, even it out. If you're in shoulder stand, point and flex the feet a couple times, letting your calves and ankles relax. And then bring one leg in towards your face, reach away through the opposite leg. Gently switch directions. And then lower the toes to the mat, coming into plow pose. And then bring your hands down to the floor, bend your knees in towards your face, and slide the legs down the front of the body. Gradually lowering the feet to the mat. Taking a nice deep breath. So if you're lying with your legs flat on the mat, bend your knees, walk your heels in. We're going to pick up the right leg and place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Reach the right hand through the legs, the left hand on the outside. Draw the legs in towards your chest gently. To intensify this, you can bring your hands around to the left shin, or you can gently press your right elbow into your right thigh. Pushing the leg away from your body will also intensify that stretch. And let's release. And switch sides. Left ankle on top of the right knee or thigh. Left hand through the legs, right hand on the outside. Draw the legs in towards your chest. And release. And now lower both legs all the way down, heels about mat width apart, arms halfway between your hips and your shoulders. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath your chest, so your chest and collarbones are open wide. And you can breathe deeply. Just as we began class, you may find it helpful to place a hand on your abdomen, another hand on your chest, to feel the way the body moves with your breath. Bring your awareness all the way down your body to your feet. My toes, feet, and ankles are releasing and relaxing. My toes, feet, and ankles are released and relaxed. My calves, knees, and thighs are releasing and relaxing. My calves, knees, and thighs are released and relaxed. My hips and buttocks are releasing and relaxing. My hips and buttocks are released and relaxed. My abdomen and lower back are releasing and relaxing. My abdomen and lower back are released and relaxed. My fingers, hands, and wrists are releasing and relaxing. My fingers, hands, and wrists are released and relaxed. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are releasing and relaxing. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are released and relaxed. My chest, back, and shoulders are releasing and relaxing. My chest, back, and shoulders are released and relaxed. My neck, head, and face are releasing and relaxing. My neck, head, and face are released and relaxed. My mind is calm, my breathing is even, and I am completely relaxed. Om. Bring awareness back to your body. Begin to move your fingers and toes. Gently stretch your arms overhead and lengthen your body, awakening it. Reach your arms to the right side and to the left side. And then gently roll back up to a seated position. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Well done tonight, everyone. Thank you for working hard. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week. I'll see you guys all next week.